What scares you the most? The fact that, when I really sit down and think about it, I can't really see the point to life. Not in a suicidal way, it just seems like in the grand scheme of things everything I do is insignificant and unremarkable and will be forgotten. Losing kids again. I lost triplets following an assault when I was 18, and I worry that if I try to have a family now that I'm married and I find out that I'm actually barren and unable to carry a child to term. Of course I know that I can always adopt to foster, I just worry about more people dying and me if I dare try to have children of my own. The fact that one day, everything is just going to go black. What happens after death? Is it just eternal darkness? If there is a heaven, hell of some sort, would I be happy spending eternity there? If reincarnation is true, the thought of living in different times without being conscious of your past lives scares me a little. To whoever is reading this, we all have a life, let's try to live it like every day is our last. Myself. I struggle with self-control and am prone to self-harm. I don't feel like one person, and sometimes my mind even talks to me telling me to do bad things. Twice now I have tried to cut my hand open. I fear that in the end, I will truly be completely alone. No one to comfort me, no one to take care of me or me to care for them, no one to talk to. Which is weird since I am in a very happy relationship, have a very great relationship with my mom and grandparents and have a good support system. Being neck deep in water, I have aquaphobia, the fear of water, that shows up whenever I'm near very few people in high water. It's stupid, but I always have a panic attack when I'm forced to swim, and I despise water. I'll drink and shower often, but hell no to baths and swimming. Donald Trump's vision of America. A place where there are no regulations on business and no safety nets for the needy. A federal government staffed entirely by incompetents whose only qualification is undying loyalty to Trump. A country that supports dictators like Putin, Erdogan, SMG and Bolsonaro, but despises all elected leaders of democracies. A world where the United States' interaction with all nations is based entirely on financial transactions, which could eventually lead to the U.S. armed forces, and by extension its nuclear arsenal, being rented out to the highest bidder. A country where fundamentalist Christian leaders have a seat at the table but scientists and actual evidence are excluded from all decision-making. A country where the leaders can do whatever they want, rent teenage girls for sex, sell stocks on insider information, destroy the careers of dedicated public servants, pay $500 billion out to their corporate cronies, and there is no one to even care, let alone stand in opposition. We are halfway there, and it is terrifying. Locked-in syndrome. Or a strong case of schizophrenia and other neurological disorders. Basically everything that parts myself from the rest of the world irreversibly. Not able to communicate and/or connect to others and lose track of our shared reality. This is it for me. This is my life trajectory, and it's never going to break and become a rich and fulfilling life with purpose. Just wake up, go to work, eat dinner, go back to sleep. Maybe once a year I get 5 days in a row to take a vacation. That my romantic relationships have all failed so far, and that I may never find one that works. That because of my depression over all of this I'm damaging my health trying to escape, and therefore cutting my life even shorter, further reducing the chance that I'll ever break out of it all. Humans were never meant to live the way that we do in modern society. I am afraid of failure. Although panic attacks are now rare for me, I can still get one if I feed the anxiety. I am also afraid of my own mental illness. I was in a really bad place 7 years ago. I am much better thanks to a great support system, medication, and coaching. But I am terrified of relapsing because my anxiety views relapsing as failure. I am also scared of heights and spiders. Not knowing what will happen in the future. I mean, I am not exactly scared of it. To be true, I'm kinda fascinated by it. But yay, that, not knowing what will happen in the future, you can't predict what's going to happen in the next 10 seconds, not in like 10 years. In the next 10 seconds the world could come to an end, or everything would take a turn for the better, who knows? I'm lazy. I have friends, we go out together, I have fun with them. But every time I have to go out it's almost a chore, even though I know I will have fun. It's as if I live in the moment and don't want to leave what was entertaining me. Be it my PC or phone or whatever, I know it's better for me to go out, but the lazy part of me says, do we really have to go? I hate this feeling. I hate being friends with someone I don't feel like going out with, just because of my laziness. I'm scared of telling my parents I want to go back to living on my own in my apartment. I am a senior in college, and with the coronavirus spreading, my parents really wanted me to come home. I have lived with them for 2 weeks, but it has been rough. They are not understanding when it comes to mental health issues. They have screamed at me and called me too sensitive. I already had trouble visiting my parents on break. I just can't take it anymore, but I'm afraid of them screaming at me and making me feel guilty for trying to stay sane. Anal cancer. I know that sounds like a joke because it sounds like a funny thing, but I'm 10,000% serious. Or Crohn's disease. Looking through some of the other answers, and I can't believe you people care more about whether or not your actions matter than getting anal cancer. Zombies. But really, the future is looking bleak as hell. Still running headlong into massive climate damage, this current pandemic will most likely start Great Depression 2. Current leaders across the planet seem to be sticking their heads in the sand when it comes down to a breaking economic system. Glad I don't have kids and am considering not having any. The rational side of my brain is scared about someday coming to the realization that I have always treated other people like shit, been self-serving, and not upholding my values. The irrational side of my brain is deathly scared of zombies. People. The fact that they can act out in any way at any given moment scares me, especially when driving. Ted Bundy is a perfect example of this. He worked to help people yet murdered others. I don't like when someone is in a position to suddenly attack or kill me, given I have the same potential, but it'd only be a last resort for my survival or survival of a loved one. I'm honestly scared of falling in love. I feel that if I fall in love, I'll be stuck in my own version of hell. I know what it's like to be mistreated in a relationship, as I was going to start dating someone who already treated me as a bad friend. Luckily, I pulled the plug on that real fast. However, what if someone who's really nice at the start treats me terribly after we've grown closer? Knowing this, I've never been able to hold a romantic relationship for more than a month or two, and it sucks. I wish I could be in a long-term relationship, but I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. Things may never get better. I, and so many others, only convince ourselves to keep living with the idea that things may get better. But what if it doesn't? Am I just dragging out my suffering for nothing? It only bothers me when I'm trying to sleep, of course, but imagining crawling into an air vent and getting stuck at an angle where I can't get out and have no wiggle room. I'm not claustrophobic, but the idea of being completely stuck and not being able to move is bothersome. Only air vents too, caves and other things don't bother me. Thanks for listening to Reddward. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell for more videos. Let us know in comments what you think. See you later.